dear, we're already laughing and we've only just gone live. Hello, ladies. How are you? Welcome. Oh my God. So we are in for an extremely fun. Wait, hang on. See, we're already having fun.
We're in stereo. We're already in stereo.
We are in for an extremely fun business member spotlight this morning because I'm very excited to have the incredible Suzi Manley with me. Hello, Suze.
Hi, Ali. So great to be here. Thank you.
Oh, look, I am very excited. You and I have met each other in person. Well, only recently, really in person, but we've been hanging out for a little while.
I know.
And we're kind of like, I feel like we're sisters from another mister because it's not like we're very alike or anything, is it?
No. I'm very shy, people.
Yeah.
I'm very shy and reserved and retiring, whereas, Ali, she talks.
All right. Well, I'll shut up then. And how about, Suze, you tell us all about yourself, what you do, tell us about your business, how you got into it, all of that stuff.
Yeah, love to. All right. So as Ali said, my name's Suzi and it's awesome to be here. And so thank you, Ali, for having me. So my business is 5 Foot Rope and we're based up here in sunny Queensland. I'm just south of Brisbane, of Bris Vegas, as we call it. And what do you call it, Ali? Canada?
I call it Canada. You call me Mexico.
Because I call you Mexican.
And you're up in Canada.
I'm in Canada. And so 5 Foot Rope basically started in 2018, and I had another business, which was a franchise business, and I realized that I had to get in front of many business owners instead of just, doing one-on-ones with the previous business I had. And so I said to my long-suffering other half, Troy, I said, look, I might organize a networking event because, I've been, networking since Adam played left fullback for Jerusalem. So, it's nothing new to me. I've been doing it for...
say, before you keep going, I love all the corkers that you come out with.
I didn't even realize I said half of them until Claire heard... did I say something like, useful as a chocolate teapot or something?
Yeah,
and she nearly wet herself. And so yeah, anyway, she loves it. She's it. Anyway, we digress already. And so what were we talking about? Oh yeah, 5 Foot Rope. That's right. So I started. I said, okay, well look, I'll organise a networking event. And I had no clue what I was doing, as I tend to do, just jump straight in at the deep end. And in between organising it and the date of it arriving, we actually handed this business back because it was a franchise and, the poo hit the mistral with it. So we just went, no, not a good, thing. So we handed it back. And I said to Troy, I said, well, I'm going to still have to have the event because, people have bought tickets and stuff. And I said, I'll do the event and then I'll sort of work out what I want to do when I grow up. I'll work out what I want to do after that. And so I held the event and it was in the Redlands, and I hadn't long been living in the Redlands. I'm actually from Redcliffe, which is the north of Brisbane, but we moved over to the Redlands with Troy's work and stuff. And so I didn't know anyone, or I knew very few people in the Redlands. And so I had about 18 people turn up, which I was actually a bit cranky about. I'm like, oh, well, that's not very good. I was expecting 25 people.
Very good.
I'm like, rude. So anyway, so we sort of we did the event, and as I said, I had absolutely not a clue what I was doing, but we held it at a really cool little boutique bar in Cleveland, and so there was beer and wine involved, so everyone was pretty happy, and it was great. It was a great night. And so when it had finished, I said to a friend of mine, Kathy, I said, oh, how did you think it went? And she said, Suze, that was awesome. That was really good. I said, I was a bit disappointed with the turnout. She goes, I'm surprised you got 10 people. She said, no one knows you.
Absolutely. That's what I thought. I'm going, 18, God.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So Troy and I, we got in the car, we're driving home, and I said to him, I absolutely loved that. I said, that was really great. I said, I wonder if I could do that as a business. And Troy being Troy said, yeah, honey, yeah, if that's what you want to do,
Love them.
Sure, whatever you want. And so I thought, right, well, that's what I'm going to do. And so we called it 5 Foot Rope because that was the name of our company. And, and so that's what I just decided to do. And, before good old COVID hit, we'd, our evening events, we'd have 30 to 40 people, and brekkie events, we'd normally have around 25. We were about to do our fourth event a month, because we used to do a brekkie in an evening, but then I started a morning tea, and we were going to do another morning tea in another location. And because COVID hit, and that sort of buggered me up just a little bit, because all my events were, we were holding small business expos, and we were doing workshops, but they were all in person. So that sort of shut me down. But, there you go.
Well, in saying that, it kind of didn't shut you down, really, did it? Because you've got something coming up.
I do.
Very
exciting.
It is very exciting. And, I wasn't going to get to this till later, but I'm just too excited. I can't help but bring it up now. Right. But you have something coming up. Tell us all about what it is. And this kind of came about, I think, through COVID. Because
it did. So when COVID hit in the March of 2020, as I said, everything shut down, like it did with many businesses, and a lot of businesses went through a lot worse than I did. And I sort of sat around feeling sore and sorry for myself for a few weeks, and then of course me being me got extremely bored, and I think I'd caught up on my Game of Thrones, and whatever
as we all did,
as we did, and I thought, okay, well, I have to do something useful, and I thought, all right, well, why don't I try doing something virtual? And I had organized, we were supposed to have our small business expos, like an in-person, small business expo in the May. And I thought, all right, well, look, if we can't have it, because at that stage we still really didn't know what was happening and the extent of it and how long it would last, and all that old chestnut. And so I thought, okay, well, if we don't know when everything's going to happen, instead of sort of sitting back and waiting, why don't I take it online and see if we can do the expo online? Yeah. And I went and I researched and I had a look around, and, to get an expo platform or a trade show platform was like, ridiculous money, which I didn't have, because at the time my marketing budget was 67 cents in a Tim Tam. So, I mean, it wasn't looking good for me. And
your caucus. So far we've had 3.
But wait, there's more. So anyway, so I thought, okay, think outside the box, Suze. How are we going to get around this and it not cost any money? So I said, okay, went to, looked at good old Facebook, and I thought, right, well, if we set up a group and everyone sort of has an album in the group, and they can put all their stuff in there, and then they can do, posts every day. And I'm a big believer in lives, because I'm so shy. I love lives. And, so I thought it's a great way to get small business owners to get out of their own way, because the year before I had launched 5 Foot Rope TV, which was all about getting on and doing your live, but as all doing our lives in the one place on the 5 Foot Rope page. Gotcha. To gain amazing reach, which is exactly what it did. Like, we were getting reach of 20, 30,000 on our lives, because the whole concept was we were all liking and commenting and sharing each other's stuff, and it worked really well. But people still didn't understand the power of live. So as part of the expo, I thought I really want to reiterate the power of doing a live to help you connect, with the people that are watching you, right? So that's what I did. And the first one, we just winged it, and we sort of didn't really, I mean, I had a plan, but doing things as I do, I thought I'll just jump in and see what works and see what doesn't. You were there,
and that's what I do too.
Yeah. And sometimes it's great because it's the best way to learn. And I was just really lucky that the sort of the things that I'd thrown together worked. And and everyone got such a great result from it, and everyone had so much fun. And so on the 5th, 6th and 7th of May, we're having our 4th virtual expo. And Ali, you've been at all of them, which has been...
yes, I have. And I think I've been at all of them.
I think you've been
3 out of 4. I don't actually remember, because honestly, when I go to them, I'm like you. I'm shy, retired, don't like to talk, but I do love a live. And so when the opportunity came up, when I saw it and when I saw what it was, I was like, oh my God, I have to do that.
Yeah.
If for nothing else, like you said, just to get the experience of getting out there and doing it, because that was for me, actually, that was at a stage where I was just starting, and this sounds really ironic, but it's true. I was just starting to come out of my shell as someone who goes online and does training or half an hour lives, etc., in my own business. And so for you to offer that opportunity was absolutely invaluable, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, there's a lot of people who might be watching this going, well, hang on a minute, Ali, haven't I seen in the group that you're doing an expo as well? And the answer is yes.
You're doing what?
Yeah, but do you know why? Because I stole the idea from Suzi.
He did. And she rang me and said, oh, by the way, I'm stealing your idea. I went, great. Can I come to yours?
Yeah, I know. And this is what I love. I absolutely love this about you and I, like, yes, okay, so I've stolen your idea, kind of made it my own, but really, let's be honest. But I love that, like, both of us are now supporting each other.
Yeah.
Because we both have this, I mean, I'm kind of speaking for you, but I'm speaking for myself here. There's this collaboration mentality rather than competition with each other.
Absolutely.
Like, I want to support you in what you do because I love and I appreciate that, you have given me these opportunities, what I've done. And now it's kind of, vice versa. So we are now both running our own expos and both supporting each other.
Yeah. I love it.
I am just so grateful that I met you and that through that original expo, so I can't wait for yours. I'm just like, I was actually woke up this morning legit dreaming about it. Your expo, not mine, yours.
That's awesome. No, but it's so true. It's when I first started 5 Foot Row, because I said, I've been networking forever, and you've got your BNIs and your KBNs and your all the other ones, and I was one of these kids at school that I wasn't like a naughty kid or anything, but I'd always finish my work quickly and I'd get bored, so I'd annoy the person next to me, right?
That was me.
And from the front of the room, you'd hear the teacher going, Suzanne. Yes, sir.
I didn't do it.
It wasn't me. She started it. So, because I'm a dobber, she started it. But I get bored really, really easily. So sitting at a table of 10, 15 business owners, for me personally, it wasn't the right fit for me, because I would get so bored, and it would be everyone would get up and do their 60-second spiel, and then there would be someone at the table would be the speaker for that week, and it was just basically a longer version of their 60-second spiel. And that's great for for certain business owners and certain personalities. Unfortunately, with me, my, blue ass fly in a bottle, itis that I have, I can't sit still and, sit and and I mean, you've got to be respectful, obviously, of other business owners and their time, but it just, and you had 3 seconds before to grab a coffee or whatever it was, and then you'd sit at the table and then you'd all listen, and then everyone would take off afterwards. So I sort of thought, well, you know what? I know that he's a plumber and he's an electrician and he's a painter and she's a hairdresser, but I didn't know if he was a good plumber or a crappy plumber. And I didn't know if she could cut hair or if she just shaved people's heads. Like, I didn't know these people. Yeah. And so I thought, like, that's really not conducive to my whatever it is that I have, to sit still in a, I'm just like, so I said to Troy, I said, well, if I'm like that, then there's got to be a lot of other businesses who find that a little intimidating. If it doesn't fit for them. And like I said, it's great for a lot of businesses, and, obviously it's a very successful networking format because, I mean, you look at BNI, they're all over the world, they're everywhere, they're, and whatever. But just for me personally and my personality, that didn't sit right. So what I found was a lot of other people were the same. They wanted to get to truly know the people in their network. And so that's why I always say, with 5 Foot Row, it's more than just networking. We're a true community, and we really are. I've been in networking groups where, because, when Troy's dad was sick and, fighting cancer, we were 24/7 up at the hospital for about, 2.5 months, and I couldn't go, and I'd let them know, obviously, because they have one-ofs in, one electrician, one plumber, and I'd let them know. And, not one person in that networking group, I hadn't been there for 2.5 months. Not one person rang me, emailed me, nothing. And then when I emailed the president of the club, the group, the thingy, and said, look, I won't be back, because this was in the December. I said, look, I won't be back this year. I said, Troy's dad's passed away and this and that. The response, the email I got back was okay.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yep, that's me done. I'm done. I'm not interested in dealing with these people. And yet someone only has to disappear off the radar for half an hour in 5 foot rope. And everyone's like, oh my God, where's Frank? Hey, we haven't seen Frank. Frank hasn't been online. Is Frank okay? And where's Frank? Has someone rung Frank? You better ring Frank. How about we text him? Carrier pigeon, send a carrier pigeon, go knock on his door. Hey, Frank, how are you, Frank? You okay?
And honestly, this is truly why I believe you and I resonate so much, because everything you were just saying then is exactly how I feel as well. Like, I've been to BNIs and I never actually signed up with any of them. I've been a part of some incredible networking opportunities, and I actually ran one at one stage, and it was really, really good. But it was very, and it wasn't that the people in it weren't supportive. It's just that we all had the mindset, and it was kind of like an unspoken mindset. Was just like, we've all got our own stuff to do.
Yep.
And so everyone was so busy off doing their own stuff during the week, but or during the month. And once a month we would come together. I think once a month or a fortnight, I don't remember now. We'd come together, do our thing, and then just go part ways again.
Yeah.
Why I'm so big, and you are too. Obviously, what you were just saying, so big in this overall community feel, genuine connections. It's more than business acquaintances. It's friendships.
Yeah.
And it's supporting each other in any way that we can. And that's what I love about you and about 5 foot rope and your expos and what you do and all of that type of stuff.
I think, Ali, like, especially with everything going on, on our rock at the moment. And we always, I always say to people, it's people first, and then business second.
Totally agree.
And it has to be that way, because when you're referring to someone, and that's the whole point of, being in a networking group, is that, you get referrals and you refer other people.
Yep.
And everyone, they all rabbit on about the no, like, trust. We've all heard it a million times. No, like, trust, no, like, trust, no, like, trust, right?
I did it on Tuesday.
Right. So it's always, no, like, trust. And it's true. You have to do that. But I always say, look, you meet someone, you go, okay, right. Do I know you? And if I get to know you, and you have to get to know someone, do I like you? Because it doesn't mean that they're a bad person or you're a bad person or anything. Sometimes you just don't gel with people, right? So I don't, but do I like you? And if I know you and like you, do I trust you enough to refer you to my mum?
Oh,
because if I don't trust you enough to refer you to my mum, then why would I put my business and my reputation on the line to refer you to another business owner who's a part of my network?
Yeah, right.
Right. So, and people are just like, oh, yeah, I know the guy. Well, do you know him, or is he just in your networking group? You've got to refer him because he's the only plumber in your networking group. So I told you that story to tell you this one. So going back to what we were originally talking about, we've never had a one-of in 5 foot rope. We welcome everybody, no matter what and because I always say to people, look, if there's 2 plumbers in the room, Frank and George, they might be brilliant plumbers, but one might love doing residential but hate commercial, and George might love commercial but hate residential. So if you get to know each other and you trust that the work that the other person does is good work, right?
Yeah.
Then you can go, someone comes to you and it says, I want you to do this residential project for me. You go, well, you know what? I don't really do residential, but I know Frank does, and he's really good. So you need to have a chat to Frank. Or if you've got, 2 hairdressers and one's just chock-a-block busy and they've got a client that says, but I've got a wedding and, and I'm here and whatever. They go, you know what? I can't fit you in, but look, let me ring Anastasia Beaverhausen and see if she can fit you in her salon, because I know she does really good work. Now, if you have that good relationship with your clients, they're always going to come back to you, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But you've solved their pain point for them in doing that, and you've sent them to someone that you trust. And then in turn, hopefully, that person will, so that to me is what builds your business. as
yeah,
long
totally back you
term.
up on that. Totally back you
Yeah.
up. And I've done that when I've had people come to me, for business coaching, and they want coaching in a certain area, and it's not specifically where I have my expertise.
Yeah.
So I will go and source someone, or might know someone in my network, or source other networks such as yours.
Yeah.
Say, can anyone help this person, and then refer them. And you're right, and it only helps. It only helps our reputation.
Yeah.
As and yes, you do. I agree with what you're saying, though, in the fact that we need to know that other person that we're referring. The point to know that we trust them as well. Yeah,
you trust them with this person who you've already established a relationship with. You trust them with that relationship, because referring is you're putting your reputation on the line.
Oh, 100%. And what I have found, I mean, you run a networking business, so you would get this, but as our business grows, as our network grows, the people that we have, genuine connections with grows. So when situations like that do come up, it's not difficult to go, oh, wait, hang on, I know someone. Yep, they're great.
Yeah.
And it's quite good. So, Suze, tell us, I want to know a little bit more about 5 Foot Rope and how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've said it's a networking group, but how exactly does it work?
Very messily. No, it's not really.
We're very professional. Asked this question, so I'm hanging for the answer.
We're very professional here at 5 Foot Rope, people. So basically how we work. So we started doing just the networking events, and we were just charging per event. We didn't charge a yearly fee or anything like that. So when COVID hit, I had to, mix things up a little bit. And so what I did was I started a 5 Foot Rope membership. And, and I wanted to make sure that it was affordable for startup businesses, for micro businesses, for small businesses, for anyone who wanted to come and join us. Because again, we've always said everyone is welcome.
Yeah.
So our memberships start at $15 a month, and that includes all your networking events, right? Which is awesome. And you can either pay it $15 a month, or you can pay it for the year. And then, we go to $25 a month, which includes the 5 Foot Rope TV and that sort of stuff. And then we have our platinum members at $97 a month, which includes a whole heap of other stuff. But what I've tried to do is create a space. So when you join the membership, you get to go into our Members Only Business Academy, which is a group on Facebook. And we have guest speakers in there, and we have, obviously theme-based like everybody does. We do a lot of things to help people get out of their own way. Like we have a lives day, and I'll put a subject up and say, right, jump on and do a live about this, just 15-minute live, do it about this. You're doing it in a safe space. You can get feedback from people. You can watch it back, before you unleash yourself on the world, sort of thing. And so what I've tried to create is a group or a community that isn't costing you a fortune. Like I think BNI is up to like $1,400 a year or something insane. It's $15 a month to start. Yep. And you've got all your networking events there, which at the moment are virtual. Hopefully next month we're going back to face-to-face, because I wouldn't do that again until everyone could be included in that. And so whatever networking events we do, that's included in your membership. And then on top of that, like I said, the guest speakers, so that and all my guest speakers, I always say to them, you've got 30 to 45 minutes in the group, and, to do your presentation. You can give an offer at the end, but I don't want that 30 to 45 minutes to be selling. I want it to be value adding. So, whatever your expertise is, I want you to share value for that period of time. And in return for that, I will give you access to everyone in my group. You get to stay in the group for a couple of weeks and still connect with the people in the group. And so, and if you're doing your job right, and your business, then you should do a kick butt presentation, and people will want to connect with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I have obviously the guest speakers at my networking events. And so the whole thing is based on the connect, learn, and then grow.
Love it.
Because Ali, like you're a business owner. I bought my first business at 20 years old and had no clue what I was doing. I bought a salon and I couldn't even do nails, couldn't even do a manicure, right? Had no idea. But I thought, hey, it's a good business. I'll just see how I go.
And luckily, I ran a roof tiling business with my first husband. No idea.
There you go.
Obviously, I wasn't the roof tiler, but I had to do all the admin. No idea what I was doing.
But see, sometimes that's a really good thing, because you learn really quickly.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
and I was lucky enough that, mum and dad didn't turn around and say, well, are you mental? Like, seriously, you want to buy this business and you don't know a thing about what you're doing. And they said, all right, well, let's have a look at it from a business perspective. And it was a, good business. And my mum and dad had always had their own businesses. So it was just that different mindset that supported me in that, and I bought the business and I built it up and I had a fantastic business for, and so I've always pretty much worked for myself most of the time, since I'm 20. So for the last 8 years, because I'm only 28.
Me too.
Right. But yeah, so for the last, 33 years, I've fairly much worked for myself, few bits and pieces in between. But it's when you're starting off in business, that's when you need the connections, that's when you need the support, that's when you need the help in, geez, how do I do that, how do I do this, not what you do for your business, as in, if you make candles, you're probably an excellent candle maker. You don't need education in that. You need education in all the other stuff that comes along with running a business.
Absolutely, yeah.
And when we're working on our own, the only one you have to ask is Dr. Google, right? You have no one else to talk to. Whereas if you have, people who are in the same industry or the same niche in your community, then you can go, you know what, you need to talk to Derek.
Yeah.
Because he's, he's an accountant and he's been in accounting for, 40 years. You're just starting off in your accountancy journey. Go and have a chat to him, because he'll be a really good, support for you. And that's worked really, really well for me, since 2018. And I have I'm so grateful that I have incredible people around me in my network. And that's why I call it our 5 Foot Rope family. And, we get in and we support each other. And if someone has a win, we're like, oh my God, that's amazing. We have a day in our business academy. I call it successories, because you should wear your successes or your wins like your earrings and your necklace and your hat and your glasses, and right, wear it as an accessory. It's accessories day. So come and share your wins. So it's, it's all surrounded with, just helping people grow, but it not costing a fortune in that process.
I love that. I think that and this is again what I love about 5 Foot Rope, is that you have really taken the idea of the BNI, the networking, journey, and you have really made it into something that works for you. And as you say, so many people, just the BNI, while it's brilliant, doesn't resonate with a lot of people, and it never resonated with me.
No, me neither.
And so I actually think the first time I saw you do a live online, I went, oh my God, I love that one. Straight away.
Because I was probably rabbiting on about, something completely unrelated to what I was supposed to be talking about, as I tend to do.
That's why, because that's what I do too. It's like, oh my God, Well, what were we saying before we actually came live? We were saying, if we went live and you did a very good demo. It was like, hi, I'm Ali. I'd like to introduce you to Suzi today. She is, and
I mean, seriously, you'd be
for half an hour without blinking.
You would dead set be stabbing yourself in the eye with a hot poker, wouldn't you? It would do your head in. Be like, kill me now, right?
I used to do that until I watched people like yourself, and it was like, and that's what actually, got me to the point where it's like, you know what? There's no. It's kind of like staring at the camera. I'm giving you training and I'm going to quickly look at my notes and then I'm going to look up again. Oh, you didn't see me do that, did you? That's what it was.
They won't see me reading off the side cue card. And so then Dr. Einstein said, and I'll read his quote because it's very good.
That's it.
He said in 1943 that, seriously.
And when I see people like you, just getting on, just being yourself, bringing out your corkers like you do, I just love them. And something in me where, we just need to be ourselves. That's it. People want genuine people.
Oh, they do. They do. It's funny, like because that's what I always say to people, people go, oh, but I don't know what to say. I said, well, say that. Say, you know what? I've just completely forgotten what I was about to say.
Oh,
that ever happened, I said, say that. If you've dropped your notes or forgotten your notes, or you've just gone off on or the dog's barking in the background, or the kids are doing your head in, right? And you're screaming at them that, you're going to throw them back in the cage, right? Be real about it. Max will be barking his tree off because a leaf's fallen off a tree, and he's decided that he's not happy with that in his neighborhood. And, Max the Wonder Dog will be going off his tree in the background. And I'm like, yeah, that's Max the Wonder Dog. And people will get on their comment, go, oh my God, I can hear Max the Wonder Dog in the background.
I actually, it was funny how you said just then, and it reminded me of legit a moment that happened to me this Tuesday, like just gone. I was doing a training in this group, ladies. If you want to go watch it, and you see if you can pick the point. But when my eyes, because what I did, I was reading my notes on the screen. Just to be real here, right? I was reading my notes, and then my whole mind went blank. Something happened, and I don't know if I looked at a comment of someone, and everything went blank, and I stopped for a minute, and I think my eyes probably just went, and I went for about 2 or 3 seconds. And then I just said, oh, I've lost my train of thought. Because I just thought, well, I've got to call a spade because people are going to wonder why the hell I'm staring at.
What are you going to do? If you start blabbering, they're going to go, geez, she's up to her medication today. Right.
Well, so if
I'm just looking.
If you want to go and see if you can pick that moment before I say it, go and have a walk. And
that's your mission. That's your guys' mission. It's like, I'm just looking for our live, because I just want to see if there was any comments.
I have looked for it, but I can't see it. But that's okay. I think there are a few tech issues, but that's okay because we have ways of getting around these tech issues.
We have the technology.
And I'm not. No, don't know. I'm checking while. I'm not ignoring you. I'm actually checking my phone.
Yeah, no, that's it. Because normally when you go live, I get a little pop-up to say, hey, Ali's live.
I know.
But it's it's really weird. We've sort of disappeared into the abyss.
Into the abyss. But that is okay, because what we will make sure that we do is we will pin this in the group.
We will.
And we will make sure that people see it, because I want everyone to know how amazing you are, Suzi. If you'd like to come, tell us about your expo, actually, that's coming up.
So our expo is the 5th, 6th and 7th, which is the Thursday, Friday and Saturday of May. Okay. Now, we welcome everybody to our expo. I have 3 sponsors for my expo. I have Claire Williams of Sensi, and I know many in your community know and love the beautiful Claire Williams. I have the incredible Marie McCready, who has Creations Wig Studio up here in Capalaba, and Marie helps so many people, women and men, with hair loss through whether it's cancer treatments, alopecia, a lot of different medical conditions, as well as if people just want to zhuzh their hair. That's a technical term, by the way, zhuzh. If they want to zhuzh, they might be growing their hair out and they might want to have like a ponytail or a hairpiece or whatever it is. So Marie does all that, as well as she helps people with hair loss as well, like she does hair replacement through Hair Illusions. So she's always been a fantastic supporter of everything I've done. And then we had this chick jump on board that wanted to be a sponsor, Ali something. I don't know. She's down in bloody Mexico somewhere. It'll come to me. Something to do with heart and soul, or I don't know. There was a heart involved.
Do you mean Ali Sugars, who runs?
That's her.
Oh, that's me.
That's the chick. And so the beautiful Ali Sugars said, hey, I'd love to be a sponsor of your expo. I said, hey, I'd love to be a sponsor of your expo. And so, so the fantastic thing is I am lucky enough to have these 3 incredible women as part of, this really fun event that we hold every couple of months. So, so 5th and 6th and 7th for a virtual stall or an album in the group. We've got nearly 1,400 people in our expo group at the moment. So it's a great way to put yourselves in front of a new audience that you may not have been connected with before. So your album's $45. It's unlimited uploads into your album of pictures and videos. And then over those 3 days, you get to do 3 posts, and those posts can be static or a video, pre-recorded video. And you also get the opportunity to do a half-hour live every day. Okay. And we book those in because you can't have two people going live at the same time. So we book those in and we book them in half hour, and they are so much fun. And guys, if you get involved with Ali's expo, which I highly recommend, make sure you sign up to do lives every day. You're doing lives with yours, aren't you?
Absolutely. I'm going to back you up there because, and I've mentioned this, but doing lives in your expo it is so much fun.
It is. It really is.
Watching everybody else do their lives, supporting each other.
It's so great.
The whole 3 days is amazing. And like I said, I stole the idea from you, but the reason that I did that was because I had so much fun at your expo.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to have more fun. I want to do my own.
I want my own.
So I'm going to say, ladies, if you have not signed up for Suzi's expo, do it. It is so much fun. As someone, as you mentioned, I have done it over and over again. I'm going back to the next one.
Yes, you are.
I'm sponsoring it. I'm going back to it. Do it. It is well worth it for your business.
Oh, absolutely.
And I have gotten business from your expos. So, they do.
And that's the brilliant thing, because we also do a lucky door prize at like 4 o'clock every afternoon. And so what happens is all the stall holders will very, very graciously provide lucky door prizes, right? They, and so what I do as part of, so I might have 20 lucky door prizes or 30, let's say 30, make it easy. The brain doesn't have to think. So I'll do, 10 a day, right? And what I do though, during that lucky door prize draw, is I get to use my spinny wheel, which those of you who have been to a 5-foot rope event know I love my spinny wheel. So your name goes into the spinny wheel. But what I do is, if you've said, look, I'm going to give this pen, Ali says, look, I'm going to give this pen as a lucky door prize. I will do a 3 or 4 minute spiel. On your pen, right? And the reason that you guys want this pen is because it's purple and orange, and there's no other pen on the market that has the purple and orange, especially with the polka dots. So that that's an Ali Sugar's pen. And the way it writes, it's actually ergonomically designed by NASA. And the way it writes, you can write upside down and you can write in water, and there's no other pen like that on the planet. And this is what you're going to win. So if you don't win it, make sure you go to Ali's folder and check these pens out, because they are the absolute duck's nuts. They are awesome, and you have to have one, okay? And these things are only worth, $7,532.95. But for the expo, we're going to give you a 0.7% discount. Right?
Told me.
So go and buy the pen. And guys, you don't get that kind of exposure to your business and your product like that. And,
and what I think is so powerful is it's someone else.
That's right.
Talking about your product rather than you talking about your product. So it's just the whole thing. And again, this is when we got to finish. We've gone 7 minutes over because you and I can talk. But the whole thing builds.
Never saw that coming.
No, we didn't, did we? But the whole thing just builds upon each other. It gets better and better. So I am going to say, if you're looking for a network to join, 5-foot rope is the one. If you are looking for another expo besides mine, but Suzi's comes first. If you're looking for an expo to join, go and do Suzi's.
Seriously, do them both, guys. It's less than $100 to do both the expos. And, I'm not saying $100 isn't $100, it is. But the exposure that you will get at both of these expos, and you'll find that the people that go to my expo, because we're going to be talking about Ali's expo, my expo, will transition over to Ali's. Okay. So if you've done mine, and you'll have a ball, trust me, you'll have so much fun, and you get to go into our stall holders group, and we give you any training that you need, and we tell you exactly how it works and what you have to do. And it's really super, super simple. What will happen is those people will transfer over to Ali's expo as well. So you're getting a double bite of the cherry for less than $100. And to me, that is worth absolutely every penny. And, just do it. And then the great thing is that, Ali, I know you're going to enjoy it so much that you'll want to do another one like I do.
Oh, I'm already planning another one.
Right. So if you've already set your album up the first time, all you do is you just leave your album there and say to Ali, hey, I'm going to be in the next one. I have, out of all my stall holders, I think there was 3, maybe 4 who didn't sign up for the next one.
Wow.
So that just goes to show the impact of them for people's businesses. So so if you do Ali's and then you go, right, Ali, when's the next one? She'll go, right, we're going to do it in August. Okay, right. I'm going to August, September. You leave your album there and you just add to it.
I did that with you straight away. You said there's a next one. I'm like, great, I'm in. Here's my money.
Yep. And so they leave the album there. So the people that, have gone, Leah, no, I'm not going to do it this time, as I said, which has been like 3, maybe 4. It doesn't matter, but, only a couple of people. Then you just, their albums get removed, but the others, they just add to them. So, doing the first one, you got to fill your album up and put all your descriptions in and links and everything. But
once it's done, it's done.
And then the next one comes around, you just go, I'm in. To me, it's a no-brainer.
That's what I was dreaming this morning. I was dreaming about your expo because there's something in my current album that I'm going to need to change soon. And so, so I was dreaming about when and how and what I'm going to say. I'm just like, anyway, we are 10 minutes over, so we need to, because you need to go and do some other stuff too.
I do. I've got my webinar at 10 o'clock, so I'm
lots happening. So we have put your links in the description above that you gave us. So if you would like more information about 5 Foot Rope, either the membership, the network membership, and or the expo, you can click those links above. And again, highly, highly recommend working with Suzi. She's in there.
Thank you so much, Ali. Yeah, look, everyone is welcome. We do have a free group, guys, if you wanted to check us out, before you sort of, jump into the fire. But we do have our 5 Foot Rope Business Connective group, and that's a free group, and everyone's free to join, and we have theme days and things like that. But you'd be very, very welcome to come and join us, and it's heaps of engagement, heaps of interaction, and we do organic reach days where you can post links to your posts and people go and comment on your post to help with your organic reach. Lots happening, so just come and join us. And we've it's fantastic, the connection that we have, Ali, in the fact that we support each other, and I just absolutely love it. And I'm very, very grateful for the day that we popped up on each other's radars and went, wow, she's really weird, I really like her.
That's what I did. See, we're nothing alike.
Absolutely nothing alike. No.
Anyway, all right, I will let you go and get ready for your webinar. Again, ladies, if you want any information on Suzi, links are all above. Thank you for joining us, my love.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Webinar later today.
Thank you so much. No, it's always an absolute pleasure to talk to you. And and everyone have a fantastic Easter, and I hope the Easter Bunny brings you lots of little chockies.
Yes, and we'll see you at your expo. Woo!
Yes, we will. All righty. Thank you, Ali. Talk to you soon.
Everyone. Bye.
See you. Bye.